fellas, we here. I'm your host, CJ.
Logan.
KC.
Man, let's just jump right into it, man. How do we get here today?
You know, man, it's just one of the things that actually made out the group chat for real.
Yeah, actually. I mean, in group chats, you just talk about random stuff all day. Starting a basketball team, just doing random activities all day. And it was just one of those that just like, we were actually serious about it for once. And now we're here. And it feels pretty good.
I ain't gonna say I was serious at first. I was just talking for real. Y'all know how I get in the group chat.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't even thought about this like actually being a reality.
Yeah. And it's like, it was a support thing. So like, regardless of what happened, if it failed or not, and we're just trying it. Like, it's not something that we knew we'd be here for, but it's something we're here now, and we can say that we tried it. So
You ain't lying.
you just wish for the best.
You got your Nelson Mandela hat on today. Man, speaking of the group chat, man, like what's the context of the group chat?
Whatever. It's like, you know, the group chat for the boys is like
Sending TikToks all day long.
sending TikToks all day, planning vacations that will never happen,
Never happened.
planning but not planning, texting and nobody responds. Just the random,
Anything you can think of.
anything you could think of is in that group chat.
Man, yeah. Okay, but do y'all remember the exact day that the podcast idea like actually came up?
No.
I was sitting thinking about it last night.
It was like a weird era of everybody, we send each other clips of like what's going on as far as like with any podcast, like funny clips and stuff like that. And everybody has things that they stick with as far as like sports or talking about real life finances or whatever that it may be. And it was just cool seeing all of it like gel together. And some of them are really funny, some of them are serious. And I feel like you get a lot out of podcasts, and a lot of people didn't. Podcasts have always been there, but we just haven't paid that much attention to them until they started to get traction.
I don't think they really got traction until COVID for real.
Yeah.
No facts. You was just sitting at home.
Yeah.
There wasn't nothing to
Sitting at
do.
home and you just watching them.
People just come out in their living rooms and just start talking.
Yeah. And it's not a complete waste of time either, because you can watch a podcast and you can get so much valuable information, or it could be one of those to where you just have the time and you sit there and you watch and you invest in it, and it's just something to laugh at or something to
No
look
facts.
at.
Or you can multitask. Like you just turn the podcast on in the back. You
just
in the
listen to it.
you in the kitchen. You cleaning in the car. Like you know what I'm saying. Like it's very versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that's like, it can happen. You just have to try and take the chance. And, you know, at this stage of where we are with everything, I'm okay with taking that chance, because I'd rather say that I tried it and it didn't work out rather than to say that I didn't try it and what if it did work out.
Nah, facts. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna sell y'all. That's why it took us so long, and we doing it now in the spring when we should have did it in the fall.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, we gonna get on here. We ain't gonna have nothing to talk about. Like, it's gonna be crazy. But
Yeah.
It only take one person though for real.
Yeah. It just takes to start it. The hardest part is starting it. Now we're here. We're in the studio. Thankful for everybody that made this happen. And, you know.
facts. A
You see
great
how it
shout
goes.
out to WeTV for helping us with this. Big shout out to our producer Liam. Would not be here without him or any other staff that's here tonight. So very grateful for them.
Thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah, really. Just thankful for the opportunity. Where do y'all see like this going?
We going big.
I don't know about all that,
We
but
going big on big.
for me, it was, like you said, sending those other podcasts in our group chat and just being like, man, we have those same conversations in the group chat.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be crazy if at any moment we just record that group chat and that be a podcast episode.
Yeah.
We probably would go big,
Yeah.
get paid for this. But it was also just like, looking back at the fall, right? Like going through so much, like I felt like I was not taking care of myself, or like I have no hobbies or nothing. Like it was always school, focusing on what I'm involved in within school, and then going home.
Yeah.
Like nothing in between. And so for me, like this podcast is serving as that, like,
Get your mind off things.
facts. You just talking, getting your mind clear, just speaking freely.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to get out of it. I don't know about y'all.
I'll say I'm trying to get the same thing out of it for real.
I like that idea. And it's like you said, like this past like fall, and you know, like being a student is so much that revolves around your life for 5-6 months, you have to completely like focus in on school, and the free time that you do have, you want to rest from having to devote so much time into your academics and whatever else that it might be. And and during that course of that time, a lot of people don't prioritize finding something to do as far as everything. So I feel like this is cool, and I feel like it's a safe space, and I want this to be something that like we can reach campus in a different way, whether it's to make somebody laugh, make somebody's day, just something like teach it. Yeah, something like I'm here to get an education, but at the same time I can give you something that I picked up from somewhere else. I feel like it's one of those things that can branch from that.
Truly, I think that could branch us into the segue of like all of us, excluding Logan, of course, we coming from places that's further than Cullowhee, and so getting here and having to adjust to adjust to a rural kind of area. And like I think that also is something that'd be beneficial to like the greater campus, because there's a lot of people that come from those bigger cities, and then they get here and they're like, man, this is Cullowhee, this is it. Man, KC, you want to talk about your experience making that adjustment? Because you were here before, and you were here pre-COVID.
Yeah, and so the experience altogether, it was just a little bit different. Like, it was something that I just felt like I wanted to take the chance on. Like, I remember in high school, it was right around my junior year, crossing into my senior year, I'd get a call from a recruiter for track and field, and he was like, hey, we're at Western Carolina, we're interested. And, I didn't really know what to say. Like, I was like, thank you for the opportunity. It's cool and everything. But, like, once I got off the phone, I was like, what is Western Carolina? Like, I had no idea, because I'm from, like, a bigger city. And so once that came about, I started to do my research and found everything, and was like, NC State was the closer option. That was my dream school. But, I was at that stage in my life to where, like, I felt like I needed to see something else rather than what you've seen your entire life. And I'm honestly glad that I took that leap of faith and came here, because I met a lot of great individuals like y'all. And, it's so much that I've learned over the course of everything, and just figuring out everything in this space and enjoying what's here.
What have you enjoyed most?
What do I enjoy the most? I'd say, like, I like the area, how close-knit the community is. Because you can be in a space, like, in a big city, like, and you're just intertwined with like a small circle, but here I feel like it's more of a close-knit community, and you meet people from here, there, and everywhere, but everybody's just all like in one space.
Facts. I like echoing all of that, like being from Charlotte and then coming here, and like I looked at Western my junior year, and like I'm a completely different person now than I was then. Like for lack of better terms, I didn't really care where I went or really care about like school or any of that. It was just something that you just had to do as a kid. And so I literally, at that time, I wanted to be a sports agent, and I looked it up. I was like, law programs in North Carolina. Western Carolina popped up. Told my mom that's where I was going to go. And it is what it is, but like actually coming up here and like being here, even amidst like COVID, like it shaped me into the person I am. I got to meet y'all. Like it truly was an experience that if you went anywhere else, you just wouldn't get. Like Cullowhee has that kind of vibe to it.
To set the record straight, I'm not from Cullowhee. They try to make it seem like I'm from Cullowhee. I'm from Asheville.
Well, they give us your experience of coming from Asheville to Cullowhee, so like always being in the mountains.
I take it for granted. It's truly beautiful to look at the mountains every day. Like talking to people on campus, like in classes that come from all over the world, like they don't get to see what I've seen for 22 years of my life. So I guess I take it for granted.
Nah, facts.
And it's one of those spots that, like, whenever you think about it, like a lot of people see it as, oh, it's not that much to do. We don't have that big of an area. It's no closer city than Asheville, and that's like an hour away. But it forced me to pick up different activities. Like some things I thought that I would never do. Like I fished as a kid, but I never thought that I would pick it up in my free time. I never played golf before. I was always a person that said, like, I'll never do that a day in my life until you do it and you enjoy it. You don't have to be good at it, but as long as you do it and you find some type of relief of whatever you have going on in that.
No, facts. I never thought I'd be the person that just say, like, I enjoy just going out for a walk. Like, I'm from Charlotte. We don't do that. we go out to restaurants. We go bowling. We go to amusement parks. But, like, I thoroughly, like, going on the Greenway and just, like, clearing my mind, put my headphones in. It's just, It's a vibe for real. Like Logan looking at me like I'm weird, bro. I'm telling you, you gotta try it. Like it's refreshing because that's not something I'm used to.
Yeah. It's just overall, it's great. Like I wouldn't trade it for anything else. Like granted, yes, it is bigger schools out there. You know, like you have your big schools that we always see on TV, but here is like a place that you can legitimately call home, and you can always visit another place and give or take. But the people that have always went here, I've never heard anything like bad about it. They've found ways, and then they make you feel welcome to a place that they call home.
Facts. If I go back in time, I would still choose to go to Western, despite visiting multiple universities, whether it's bigger, smaller, in a different state. I'll choose Cullowhee and Western over all of them. Still,
no doubt about it.
If I had to redo it, I'm not coming to Western.
Where would you go?
To a city.
What city?
A big city.
All right, so give your city and give the university.
UNC Charlotte.
Bro.
I would go to Charlotte.
So being from Charlotte, did you ever?
Man, no.
It was never in the picture?
It was never in the picture. I was not going to UNC Charlotte. My whole thought was like, I wanted to get away from Charlotte. I've been there my whole life.
Yeah.
Before I came to Cullowhee, the biggest move I did was moving out one room across the hallway to another. I was like, I got to get out of Charlotte. I wanted to go somewhere completely different. Like UNC Charlotte's 20 minutes from my house.
Oh, wow.
There's no way I'm staying in a dorm. I'll just go home.
Yeah.
And then I'm missing out on that experience.
That's like me. Like, I wouldn't go to school in Asheville. I wouldn't go to Mars Hill. I wouldn't go to UNCA. That's
I feel like it's different. I feel like it just depends on what you have, you know? Like, depending on the city. You're from Charlotte, you're from Asheville, I'm from the Raleigh region. So it's like, yeah, NC State was like 45 minutes away. But like, you know, if you dreamt of going to that school, you just dreamt to go there. But at the same time, it was just one of those options you had to weigh. It was like, do I really want to spend that much to go here and to?
It is bread, for real.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of money. It's a
expensive.
huge investment. So it's just something that you just go out there and try it.
Let's be real. All it is a name on a piece of paper.
Literally, and that's all that it boils down to. Because like, no matter how much you spend, like, you'll get a quality education, from whatever, because these are accredited universities.
No, facts. Like, I keep telling people, like, back home whenever I would go and visit, and it'd be some people that take the community college route and they do it to save money and things like that. And I agree. Yeah. And I always tell people, like, I'm paying for an experience at the end of the day. Like, that's what I wanted, though. Yeah. But I wanted that true 4-year college university experience. Yeah. There are multiple ways to, like, get that piece of paper from anywhere for like cheaper costs, but essentially that's all we're doing. We're paying for an experience.
Yeah.
That's how.
Do you think you've gotten that experience?
Man, I got that and more. Like, the growth that I've seen in myself. Like, I never, you know, all your high school teachers will always tell you college is gonna be the best time of your lives, and we all be sitting in there like, I know you're not telling me I'm gonna like school, but I like school.
Yeah.
I mess with it. Do you think you got your experience?
No. I mean, like,
no.
I've never really liked school. Like, it's just something that I have to do for.
So you haven't got any type of experience.
Okay, but like outside of like the academics piece though.
Like you said, the personal growth, I've gotten that. But like,
so you got some.
I got some. But it's not.
It's not nothing.
It's not something that. I don't think it's the same as if I went to another school.
Okay, how would you think your experience have been if you did go to UNC Charlotte?
Just more fun. There's more things to do. There's nothing to do here. I don't hike.
He just
I don't
said
go outside.
That he was trying to take it for granted.
He literally taking it for granted. He trained in the mountains for skyscrapers.
But I want to see more than the mountains.
What you gonna see in Charlotte?
Skyscrapers, like you just said.
You rather see a skyscraper than a mountain?
Yeah, I've seen them for 18 years. Yeah.
Man, that is wild.
I don't know. I can't agree with it.
I can't get behind that. Even if I was from Asheville, I still can't get behind that.
Yeah.
You just looking at buildings.
I want to look at buildings. I want something new.
We got buildings on campus.
I don't like these buildings. I need different ones.
We just got the rocks.
What rocks? I'm sorry, what rocks?
The new dorm. What I'm gonna do with them new dorms? I ain't stayed in the dorm.
Oh, that's what y'all talking about, the rock. Why did y'all say the rocks?
That's what they call it. Come on, nephew.
That's not what they're called, is it?
Bro, they're called the rocks.
Dude, no, they're not.
Black Rock, Shining Rock, and Water
They're
Rock.
not called D-Rocks.
Yes, they are. What they called?
Well, I'm sorry I haven't lived in a dorm. Sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry about that.
I haven't either, but I still know that they called.
I
the
don't.
Rocks. What you thought they were called?
I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. Because, I mean, like, seeing that area where everything was, like, knocked down and everything, like, they did a lot with that. But other than that, I couldn't tell you a name. I couldn't tell you what they look like. It's nice. It
Well,
looks
school
nice.
us, because, we knew. We didn't get to stay in Scott and Walker. Tell us about the Scott and Walker
was,
times.
if you lived in Scott at any point of your college career, you probably never caught COVID. It was just like an experience altogether. Like Scott was like
That was an experience.
it was definitely an experience. Like, being in a dorm first, like living at close quarters with a stranger was like a real big, like, it could go really good or it could go really bad.
Did you like your roommate?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't like him, but I just wish he did more. You know what I'm saying? Because it's some people that just like, I was that person that would like stay to myself and didn't want to meet people. But as I met people here and meeting them from here, there, and everywhere, they like kind of encouraged me to go do stuff, like go to sporting events or go do this or go do that, go play basketball, let's go to the gym, whatever. But they encouraged that. But Scott altogether was a great experience because I felt like most of the people that were there, you knew, and just being that close with your friends, being on campus was an experience that I took for granted. Because once you move off campus, it's like you have your own space, which is great, but like the convenience of being there was just a lot better, and just being in that space with people that you can connect with. Because
I can agree with that.
living in your own apartment, I couldn't tell you who lives where or whatever else. You know people, but that's about it.
I don't even know my next door neighbor.
Exactly, and you could care less. But in Scott, like, you see him every day, you speak, and you just might commonly have a course together or take up the same activities or whatever that it might be. They might have something that you need or whatever. And it was just...
Yeah, that's something if I could go back and change throughout my experience here. Like my freshman year, I stayed in Judicola and I had a private, so there wasn't that necessarily that community style thing. I ain't know nobody in there. I barely knew my suite mates, like, but that also, like, I look at all my friends who like stayed in like Allen or those community style places and they knew everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, how you know them?
Yeah.
Oh, we stay in the same dorm or we on the same floor. I'm like, oh, don't even know who stayed next to me in my suite.
And they on 2 different floors.
Yeah.
Facts. So I do wish I got that kind of experience, and I hear that from everybody that stayed in Scott and Walker. Like it was the like crustiest dorm, but it gave them that experience.
Exactly, and that's all that like a takeaway from it. So like, if I could change what dorm that I lived in, I would not change that. Sorry, I wouldn't. But it was just like being in a dorm was like one of the easiest networking experience that you could possibly have. Because once you live by yourself, it's a lot harder for you to connect with people here, there, and everywhere. Because you don't have to see people. You go on campus for a few hours or a few classes, and then you leave, and then you're back in your own space, whether you decide you want to hang around people or not.
Yeah. Logan, where you stay at your freshman year?
I was in Blue Ridge, man. Honors college. I'm an honors college student. And
That's what we're gonna roll with.
That's what we're gonna roll with.
All right. Respect.
But I had a private room. I never talked to my roommate, but we shared a shower and a toilet, and that was about it. I mean, it was cool. I didn't really talk to anybody. One of my best friends now, he lived on the same floor as me. I didn't even know that, just because I've never really talked to anybody for real.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I don't think I talked to anybody that stayed in Judicola the same time that I did.
And you know what's crazy? Like, whenever you leave that setting up in high school, it was this particular teacher, I remember him to this day. I hope he's doing well. But he told me, he said, the moment you leave from high school, he said it'll be 2 people that you still connect with, like, as far as, like, who you talk to on a daily or not. And that was the truest statement I've ever heard in my entire life.
I got the opposite.
Really?
It's a lot of people from back in high school I still keep in touch with.
Like, you could keep in touch, but I'm saying, like, say you had, like, a close group of friends, like, y'all all just, like, branch out and start your lives. Because in my case, it was like, you have friends that have gotten married earlier, they started families earlier, started businesses or whatever that it may be. they just chose their own career path, and everybody lives here, there, or everywhere.
No, yeah, this is a weird time period. Like, you do got friends having children, you got friends getting married, and then there's like you. Like for me, like in my senior year of college, like I'm focused on graduating and stuff.
Yeah.
They focused on like raising this kid, or like, you know, they're tending to their wives or husbands, and I'm like, bro, that's so crazy because we're the same age. Like I think about, we graduated high school together.
Yeah.
During the weirdest time.
Does that ever make you feel like you're running out of time to figure stuff out?
Yes.
A little bit. Just a little bit. I'm like, bro, they must have a like whole life figured out.
Yeah.
And then I'm here like, I'm thinking about my next step.
what are you eating tomorrow or
My
something like
next
that?
meal, literally.
But it's like, I don't know, that's different seeing it, and it's pretty like, I commend people that have started their lives as far as like, it's people that I know that got married at 18 years old. I don't think I would be ready to be married at 18 years old and then having children at whatever age. I feel like I'm not mature enough to be a parent.
Man, I know I'm not.
Like, I feel like I'm just like
I'm in that cool uncle stage.
a grown kid, pretty much.
Grown kids. Insane. Insane.
Nah, yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, I can't imagine me having a kid at this stage of my life. Like, and I don't even mean as far as like me being a senior in college, like just taking my age and then me having a kid. It's no way. Like, I'd be too cool. My kid would not be disciplined.
Yeah.
He'd be walking around the house cursing and stuff, and I'd be cheering him on, clapping. Good job, son.
Until you got to go into parent teacher conferences.
That's the other thing. Like, you go into those.
Yeah, exactly.
You going into there and you just looking at somebody that might be the same age as you, or they may have a kid that's the same age as you, and you like sitting in there because your kid done got in trouble. Like, that's an awkward confrontation.
Yeah.
It's like, but at the same time, they got to respect you as an adult. So it's like, even though that.
They don't have to.
Man, I don't care. If I'm going in there because I got to go because my son done did something, I'm an adult and they need to treat me as such. But still, it's just.
But he wants the egg on the bad behavior. But he wants to respect as a parent. That is so crazy.
Bro, you should never tell nobody how to raise their kid.
You firmly believe that.
Bro, yes, because I believe in minding my business.
But I get what you said. Minding your business gets you but so far, but it's also like you could use somebody's advice.
Okay, but say you in Walmart.
Yeah.
Bad kid, just walking down the aisle, opening up stuff, throwing it all on the ground, and they parent don't do nothing. You gonna go over there and address the situation?
Probably not.
All right, that's exactly my point.
I don't know. I feel like it's just.
Who is it acceptable to get critiqued by?
I would say it has to be your parents.
Either parents, somebody that's close to you, or it's hit or miss with people that are older than you. It's very hit or miss because I'm sorry, personally, I just can't take advice from a stranger. I'll hear you, part. But it's no guarantee that I'm gonna take whatever advice that you give me.
I just feel like from a stranger, like, they don't know you.
No.
They're going based off of that one incident that is bringing them to confront you about something. Yeah. And that could just be a bad day or something. But they're going to think that's you as a person. Like, you live your everyday life.
And it could embarrass you or make you mad or whatever. Don't tell me how to be a parent. Yeah, that's exactly.
I know a few people like that in my life.
Literally.
But, so how do you, I feel like everybody has had their own experience. What did COVID do for you? Whether in terms of the good and the bad that came from it?
Bro, unpopular opinion, I think COVID did me justice. Like, I think that is what changed me. And that's where I, like, saw the growth in myself. Yeah. Like, for me, we were in high school. I remember this vividly because we were planning our senior trip, and we were talking about going to Florida. But for some reason, we ended up we went skiing. But skiing happened in February, so we were able to go on our senior trip. And then we got back, and they were like, yeah, y'all got to go. Yeah. Then they were like, if y'all passed all your classes, you just done. So I finished high school in, like, early March. So from March to August, I was just at home.
Did you have a graduation?
Bro, we had a drive-through. I remember that vividly too. I bought my car like that Monday. We were getting our diplomas that Saturday. I did, boy. I felt like a rapper, boy. I walked in there. I did. I had to go get cash out the bank. I ain't never pulled out so much cash in my life.
What did you spend that cash on?
The car. Come on, nephew.
Okay, my bad.
What you thought I bought?
I don't know.
But
Spit it on
anyways,
random
we
stuff.
literally, we got in the car, we drove all around the school. It was different stops, you know what I'm saying? You got to get out, get your picture taken. Then they gave us, we had little yard signs with our senior photos on
Like fat heads.
Oh, I got a picture.
You got a picture? I'm about to pull that up.
Chill.
I'm about to pull that off.
Chill. But then we got out the car, we got our diploma, a picture with the principal, transcripts, and we was out.
Do you feel like you were robbed of that experience?
Man, heck yeah. I had the freshest outfit picked out, bro. I was ready to walk across the stage.
Just to
What was-
ride in a car.
What was your
just to get in
outfit?
the car. You know me, man. It was just a nice little navy blue 3-piece suit. Then I had the pink bow tie.
3-piece suit to sit in the car.
Chill.
That's
I
cool.
had to. It was COVID.
What was your experience like?
COVID?
Yeah.
You know, man, I was just trying new things I ain't never tried before.
Like what?
Going fishing. It was an experience, man. Like, I don't have the patience for it, for real.
Yeah.
We know.
I don't have patience at all. But going on hikes, went to Frying Pan Tower, I was scared. It was like the building was just moving back and forth in the wind.
Because you were so high up.
Mm-hmm. Scary. It was all right.
Yeah.
What was COVID like for you, Casey? You was here.
COVID was very briefly. But COVID, like, once COVID started, so we were, spring break was here. Everybody's having fun, and I just so happened to stay here. And everybody went to Panama City. That's when that whole thing blew up. And then I think it was going towards the end of that week. And then we were getting ready to go into the next week. It was like, yeah, we've extended that week. And then the next week comes, and it was like, okay, don't come back. And then it was just like, wow, this is crazy. And then, like, for being up here for a little bit, like, the first, like, being in that first instance of when COVID began, I thought it was fake, to be honest. I thought it was fake, and then people just started getting sick and everything, and then, like, you hear everybody.
Bro, chill.
They were like, I felt like I was getting ready to die, and, you know, like, I never had COVID or anything, but it was just like altogether, it was just,
Bro.
you didn't have the opportunity to go out and do things as freely because it was, what was the curfew like?
Like 9
9 o'clock?
No fact. How is the government going to implement a curfew?
It was a weird time. And then it was like, now thinking about it, it was like, yeah, I spent a lot of time, 6 feet distance and like, but it was a great, well, I wouldn't say it was a great experience, but like, it was just an era
humbling.
to be in. Yeah, it was humbling. And
different.
then, yeah, it was definitely different. You
For sure.
spent a lot more time at home. You couldn't go do this, or you couldn't do that. Or if you go do things, there's all these restrictions, 6 feet away, wear your mask, always covering your nose. And coming back to the university whenever COVID happened, it was like, it was weird. It was just strange. It was like we took all of this for granted, and then now we're walking around with masks. Like, you still think that it's fake, because I felt like if you were going to get sick with COVID, no matter what you did, you were going to get sick. And so it was just weird, and then it felt like it just disappeared out of nowhere. Like, it was one semester where we had to wear masks, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, we'll let you do whatever. You get sick, you just send the email, you go into quarantine, and then we'll figure it out from there.
No facts. I remember when it like first hit, I was doing a whole bunch of traveling with my friends because we thought it was fake. Because it took me months to like finally know somebody, like actually know somebody who got COVID. Because like, ain't nobody who had COVID. I was like, it's these thousands of people that got COVID in North Carolina, and I don't know a single person. This can't be real.
Yeah.
So we was going to Myrtle Beach. We was going just road running.
And that's where the freedom like pretty much started, because like having classes but they're all online was like, and you're remote too, so your
doing
teachers,
whatever.
yeah,
Facts.
and some teachers, they didn't want to meet on Zoom. They just posted their videos and you did the work as you did it. And it was just one of those things that was just like, okay, I don't have anything to do. I'll get this classwork done whenever I want to. So staying up late every night, like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just staying up just because you can. I mean, it was also nothing else to do, so you might as well enjoy it. So
I gotta ask, did you feel like you were robbed that semester? Like, you paid your whole tuition bill, and then you got told you can't come back.
No, just simply because spring break was just like kind of in that March era, and it was just kind of like that was during that time of where everything was picking up. So I felt like it was a good break for everybody, and then it kind of opened up the pool of like it's shunned upon not being in the classroom being taught, and then it opened up the conversation of like, let's do this thing online, just because you didn't have an option. So it was just one of those things. Like, granted, it wasn't the greatest experience because having too much free time was just too much free time, and it was either you sat there and worked on what you needed to work on, or you just wasted time. And personally, I wasted time because I was like, I got all this free time. I'll get to it whenever I get to it.
You was arguing with them little kids on Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that was like the best era that I could possibly like ask for. Like, it was cool.
Nah, I couldn't do that.
You couldn't do it again?
Man, if I was in y'all shoes, we in college, like, and then just get told you can't come back, like, I wouldn't have thrived in that, like, semester as far as, like, you started off in person. We've always done school in person.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't never been a virtual student.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, in, like, the blink of an eye, you're a virtual student, and you expect it to, like, succeed in those classes. Man, no, I would have failed every class that semester.
And I don't understand how people did it in that high school or that middle school, or their entire experience from middle school or to graduate high school was online. Like, you didn't really go to high school, so you didn't really have a high school experience, and then you transition to college, and then you're trying to have a college experience.
Yeah, I think about that too. Like, all those virtual schools, and I'm like, what do y'all, like, how do you incorporate with or like talk with your classmates? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
They be having virtual dance parties and stuff. I'd be like,
yeah, because it's different. It took away the whole interaction of like person to person. You don't know how to like really talk to people or have that person to person interaction. It just kind of eliminated. So like, we don't have to meet in person. We can always do it over Zoom or do it over the phone.
Man, I can't stand Zoom meetings now. We need to meet in person.
I loved it. Honestly, I loved it because you didn't have to go out of your way to go anywhere or to get ready. Like, I remember it was at one point I had a Zoom interview, and it was a Zoom interview, and you had to get dressed up. I only dressed up the top half of what you could see in the camera. There's no point of, why am I going to go put up? Yeah, exactly. I wore a tie, a button up, a blazer, shorts, no socks, Birkenstocks. That was the entire fit for an interview. And nobody ever knew.
And no socks is insane.
Because you get just that headshot of just the head and the shoulders, and they see the tie. It's like, okay, you look really nice.
What
it was
you
like,
gonna do if they told you to stand up? Some people have done that.
I don't have the space to move back to where you can see the whole thing. But I look nice from up top, from what you can see, but you don't know.
Bro, that's insane. I don't think I ever had a Zoom interview.
Yeah, that was, and then like living with people, they're walking by recording you on a Zoom call, and you're just trying to be serious because it's something formal, and they're just recording you in your shorts just sitting on the couch, just like, what is he doing?
Yeah, that's a mysterious thing. You got on a blazer, a tie, and a button-up basketball shorts.
With
no
basketball
socks.
shorts.
It was no
and
point.
Birkenstocks.
It was no point. No point of even trying.
I hope your ankles wasn't ashy.
Yeah, they probably were.
Embarrassing. Logan, how was your COVID experience? You didn't really hit on yours.
No, man, I was just here.
Or how was it freshman year here? So fall 2020.
It was weird. Like, going to some of my classes in person with a mask up. Some of them on Zoom. Some of them you didn't meet. You just did them whenever. Like, it was weird for real. I was like, why am I paying all this money to live in a dorm and I'm not even really doing anything for real? Like, I was really just here paying for my dorm and a meal plan.
No, fact. I bought that meal plan, didn't even use it. You get like 5,000 swipes. I entered the fall semester with like 4,993.
Because the only thing that rolled over was declining balance, right?
Yeah, because it resets at 5,000 the next semester.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I can't use all that. And I didn't really like the food in there anyways. Like I said, I stayed in Judah Color, so I had to eat it brown.
Yeah.
But I wasn't eating that. Food was not good. And then I also remember, like, just freshman year, I just felt like it was weird. Like, I remember when those videos surfaced, like, during, like, the first few weeks of classes, and then the protests started happening, and I was like,
what is going on here?
no, facts. And at that moment, I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
My friends told me don't come to Western Carolina. Some stuff might be happening. And in that moment, I was like, I should have listened.
Yeah.
I should have went to a city school. But it was those.
UNC Charlotte.
Exactly. Yeah. UNC Charlotte.
No, I still wasn't going there.
Look,
If
where-
I had,
Where would you have went?
I would have went out of state.
Like where?
I probably would have went big. I was looking at schools in Florida.
Name the school.
Florida. Yeah. Name a school.
They was like some random schools,
Like what?
bro. Florida Atlantic was one of them.
That's not really random. That's a mainstream college. FAU.
That's a random school for somebody from Charlotte to be looking
Dude,
at.
no, it's not. FAU.
Yes,
Dude, that's not a random school.
All right, where else was you looking at?
I really wanted to go to UGA.
That's not random either.
That is random from somebody from Charlotte.
No, it's not.
Did
People
you
would
get in?
expect you to go to Chapel Hill or, huh?
Did you get in?
I wasn't paying the application fee.
That's fair. I'm not
If it
paying.
wasn't that little free thing that was in North Carolina, I wasn't
Oh,
doing it.
what is it called?
I don't know, but they give you like that week where you can apply to any North Carolina school for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't that, I wasn't applying. My thing is, I feel like you should get a refund if you apply to a university and get denied.
Yeah, and I feel like it's one of those weird things. It was like
You know, some things just ain't refundable. It's not refundable.
you just don't get your money back. I'm sorry, but thank you for your time. Genuinely, I'm sorry, but thank you. And then the fact of they'll send you a letter in the mail and you have to open up that letter and it
And you
could be,
think you got in.
Yeah, it could be potentially like your dream school, and it's like, unfortunately, like I don't know what a difference to be deferred. I don't know what one of those letters look like, because if I felt like I had the slightest idea I wouldn't get in, there's no point.
No, facts. That's
Because
why
you
I
waste
didn't
your money
really,
and your time.
That's why I didn't really apply to too many other schools. I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get in.
I wonder if it's a person that goes through each one of the applications and say like, yeah, let's take this person. No, let's not take this person. Yes, let's take this
I
person.
want to sit
No, let's-
in and see how they actually make all those decisions.
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot of decisions.
Yeah.
Like, think about all those bigger schools like UGA. Think about how many applications they get, and they just sitting there like.
You
looking
think they
for-
actually look at them? Like, let's be real.
No,
I don't think they do.
absolutely not.
Bro, how else are they choosing?
Dude, like, it's no way that you have, what is their attendance?
Man, I don't know.
I'm sure it's over like 40,000 students. Are you telling me that it's somebody that your income in class could be, let's do 40,000 divided by 4, let's say 10,000 per grade. 10,000 people, you think they're going through, and it's probably
It's
more than
probably
10,000 that applied. So it's probably like, let's throw a
probably
number,
like
let's
40.
say 40,000. And you're going through one by one. You don't have that time. I'm sorry, you don't. No matter how you put it up, you just gotta
They're just saying yes, no, yes.
yeah, just they throw you an envelope, you toss it this way or you toss it that way. Toss it up in the air, whichever side it lands on, that's you're in or not.
That's insane.
I truly
Because I
think
feel like
that's
it
how
has
it
to
is.
be. I feel like it has to be a random selection, because if you think about it, everybody has had a class to where like it's people that get to college. Like, granted, and then you genuinely question, how did you get here? Or like they don't spend that much time here. They spend a semester. It's like, maybe college is not for me.
That could have been me. That time.
Exactly. Or it could have been somebody else, you know?
But I feel like it's the same thing with jobs.
Yeah.
You just never gonna know until that person gets in there and they doing the work. Same thing. You just never gonna know if you made that right or wrong decision until they get here. That's why I think they look at the applications. The application tell them a little bit about you.
They don't care. It's no way they can.
As long
look
as
at
you
your
paying that
application.
money, that's all
as
they
long
care
as you
about.
pay the money for the application. I'm sorry, like, if you go talk to somebody who's like, do you know what my hobbies are? They couldn't tell you a single one on there.
I wrap this up.
You got somewhere to be?
Yeah, you know, man, I got motion.
What you got to do?
MPSC etiquette, 7 o'clock in the grand room. Be there or be square.
Well, it's been fun. This is a fun episode. To not know where everything was going, I feel
No
like
facts. We literally just got up here and just started talking.
made it happen. I feel like at some point, it'll be great to have guests and different topics of any nature. I feel like this will be a cool space for people to talk publicly.
No fact. Like we just talked about our experience, but that's just us. Like, you know, we're in the same fraternity. Like, you know what I'm saying? We talked about our experiences here in COVID, but there are so many other things that you can be involved with on campus, whether you're a student athlete or like in a different kind of organization than ours, or just a student who just wants to be here and graduate with a 4.0 and go on to do big things. Like peeking inside other people's brains and like hearing and seeing and thinking about their thoughts.
Yeah.
That's
Things that concern them or
Seeing
like,
college through their eyes.
yeah.
Facts.
Because it's all like a different lens. Some people enjoying it, some people are not. Thoroughly. And
Facts.
it just depends.
And it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
Now I'm about to go home and lay in my bed and watch Hulu. And I'll see y'all on the next episode.
Buenos noches.